What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today I've got for you guys another loot roundup where we go over my highlights and some of the best stuff I've picked up recently. So we're going to go over the perks, the stat rolls, and generally how my characters are progressing. So in this video I've got a load of packages as usual. We've got Crucible packages, the Crucible Weekly Bounty, a bunch of Sublime Engrams, which is pretty cool, and also some Vanguard packages, Variks packages, and finally Faction packages. So if we begin with the Crucible, the first one dropped me a Satyrine Rapier. This is a really good scout rifle from year 1. The perks on this one are half good and half bad. I got Crowd Control, which is very good on scout rifles, one of my favorites for PvE, and also Guerrilla Fighter, which is just awful, so pretty much a waste of a slot right there. But in the middle column, we've got Perfect Balance, we've got Brace Frame, and also Small Bore. And the first scope I got is the Red Dot OES, which you guys know by now is my favorite scope. I think it's the best one. So pretty decent scout rifle. I'll definitely be keeping this thing for PvE. Let's just ignore Guerrilla Fighter, pretend it's not even there. Overall, the weapon is actually pretty decent. So the next one dropped me some gauntlets for the Hunter, and these came with sidearm reload. I'm really after some hand cannon reload right now. I've been using a lot of hand cannons recently in Crucible, so those are my favorite weapon types at the moment, I'd say. So I'm looking for some ones that give me some hand cannon reload, which would be nice. But previously, I've probably dismantled all of my hand cannon gauntlets. So I've probably got a load of them already I've dismantled, but now I'm actually on the lookout for some good hand cannon reload. In the next package, we've got a Grim Citizen, one of my favorite auto rifles, and this thing is an improvement over my last one. This one has Hot Swap, Injection Mold, and also Counterbalance, so really awesome weapon. Injection Mold is going to boost the stability slightly, and also Counterbalance is the best stability affecting perk. So this is a really good improvement. You might remember my last one only had Rodeo as a perk, so not really too great in terms of stability. This thing is going to be a lot better, so really happy with this thing. It's a massive improvement. So next up, we've got the Panther Ray Fusion Rifle. This one came with Last Resort, Rangefinder, and Rifle Barrel, so a really good roll, and this is probably one of the best fusion rifles I own. I've said before that Panther Ray is actually a really good fusion rifle, one of the best in the game, and this one has got 2 ranged perks, so pretty decent. I'm still getting used to fusion rifles as a whole and trying to get good with them, but I'm definitely liking them so far, and I'm kind of warming up to them. So this one is going to be a massive help because it's got a load of ranged perks, so really happy I got this Panther Ray, to be honest. I also opened up a Crucible Weekly Bounty, and this thing dropped me some really good stuff. This gave me a 335 exotic Radiant Dance Machine boots. I honestly haven't used these things all that much, especially not in like PvP. I'm not really too sure why. They are some really great boots, but for some reason they don't really stick out to me all that much. But I do want to give these things a go, so I may keep them. They're already 335, but I'm not really too sure. For some reason, I never really seem to use the dance machines. I did a while back with the Mida, which is a pretty lethal combo, but recently I haven't really found any kind of use to them. I've mostly been using the Crest for my Hunter, which is an awesome chest piece for the revive speed, and also the Orbs of Light, but I may have to give these things a go and see if I like them or not. So next up, we can see me opening a bunch of Sublime Engrams that I got through farming mainly PvE and a bunch of strikes. So I opened up all 3 of them, expecting to get a bunch of Jovian Guard gear, and what I ended up getting is no Jovian Guard gear. I literally got all 3 Hesperos stuff, which I think is the ugliest gear in the game. It's so ugly, I have no idea who would even use this stuff. It just looks so weird, but for some reason I got all 3 Hesperos. I got 0 April update stuff, which is pretty disappointing. Sublime Engrams are like rare enough, and they're really hard to get in PvE, so the fact I got all 3 Hesperos, which I think is really ugly, was a massive disappointment. But luckily I managed to get 2 more Sublime Engrams, and these thankfully did decrypt into Jovian Guard gear. They dropped into the boots and the mark. Now these boots are really impressive. They're basically like God Roll boots for me personally. They've got Insect and Discipline, rocket ammo, also shotgun ammo, which I like to use on my Titan. And it's also got the solar perk as well, which is perfect for my Sunbreaker and basically everything I use in the Crucible with my Titan. So really good boots right there. The only problem is I'm not really a fan of how they look. They're really like squared off, and the orange bits on the top look a little bit weird, so I'm not really a fan of how they look, honestly. I think they're pretty ugly, but the mark on the other hand is really nice. I think this has got an awesome design. I'm pretty happy with this thing. I'm struggling to find some really nice Titan gear that I like. All of it seems to look a little bit weird, and especially when you mismatch gear, it just doesn't really seem to fit. Like most classes, you can just mix and match any gear, but the Titan is very specific, and I feel like every bit of your gear has to be the same in order for it to match and actually look normal. So moving on, we've got some Vanguard packages to open up. We've got the Down and Doubt firstly. This one came with Luck in the Chamber, Single Point Sling, Brace Frame, Outlaw, and also Exhume. So pretty decent, although I'm not really a fan of the main kind of archetype of this hand cannon being the lower impact and faster rate of fire. If these rolls dropped on something like an AS Luna, it would be perfect for me. Something like Luck in the Chamber and also Outlaw would be an amazing combination. So unfortunately, don't really like the hand cannon, but the perks are really good. The next package dropped me a Swarm Machine Gun, and this is probably one of the best rolls I've gotten on a Swarm so far. This one came with Spray and Play, so really good for a machine gun, I love emptying the mag and having it reload really quickly. I think it's one of the best perks for me. It's also got Brace Frame to massively boost the stability, which again I think is really important. And the final perk is Army of One, so nothing too special. But the first two are really good, and even though with Brace Frame the range is going to be really low, I can put on Linear Compensator and that is going to boost the range slightly. So moving on to the Variants packages from the Challenge of the Elders. The weapon package got me a 335 Queen's Choice Sidearm. This one's got Army of One and Relentless Tracker, so nothing too special. Basically Infusion Fuel the way I see it. Also got a 335 Techian Rage Fusion Rifle. This one's got Surrounded, Army of One, so nothing too great. It is a really good fusion rifle, but you need range perks for it to be anything special. And I also got a Variants Judgment package from ranking up, which got me a Devil's Cloak. So pretty disappointing. I seem to always just get class items from these rank up packages. I really want some weapons, but class items seems to be the only thing I get. So finally, let's look at some faction packages. We've got a Dead Orbit package, which got me some Gauntlets for the Hunter. These came with Intellect and Discipline and Sniper Reload. I always seem to get really lucky with the Sniper ammo on these things. I've got literally loads of them. I really want some Hand Cannon, but I seem to always get Sniper Reload, which was a problem at first, but now I've literally got so many Gauntlets that have Snipers, and now I just want some Hand Cannon Reload. And the final package is for the Warlock on Future War Cult. This one dropped me a Warlock Spectre Helm and also a ship, which we'll take a look at in a second. The helmet is pretty cool looking. It looks very similar to the Obsidian Mine, but nothing too great in terms of perks. But the ship is pretty cool looking, and I didn't have the thing before, so pretty awesome to add this thing to the collection. So that has been a massive loot roundup of a bunch of stuff I've picked up recently from packages and various loot vendors. As always, leave your comments down below with the stuff you've picked up recently, some of your best items or god rolls. Always love reading all your comments. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.